This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Good evening. Welcome to the North Haven Board of Police Commissioners meeting for the month of March. Can I have approval of the minutes for the February 27, 2018 meeting, both regular and executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the monthly reports for February 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Larry, correspondence, please.
We have one correspondence from South Central addressed to Chief McLaughlin, thanking him for allowing Sergeant Clifford Hill to serve as a panelist at the recently completed oral board examinations. And that would be the only one this month.
Thank you. Under the chairman's report, the only thing I have, I'm very pleased we had a groundbreaking ceremony at the police department. It was quite an event. I want to thank all the commissioners that showed up, and it was a real nice event. Can I have a motion? No motion. Chief's report.
Okay, just in keeping with our PSA, just to remind everyone to keep the vehicles locked, sheds locked, garage doors closed and locked. If you see something that's out of the ordinary, please call us. And we're still in that, some months we're quiet, other months we're getting busy again. So these car burglaries, car entries, they're all unlocked, and they're in every town, and not just North Haven, it's everywhere. And oftentimes are leading to stolen cars, crimes of opportunity that could be prevented.
Are they now starting to go into garages, or are they cars mainly outside?
Mostly cars that are outside, but with the warmer weather, I always tend to see people leave their garage doors
Yeah.
open.
And sheds unlocked.
Yeah, because now you're gonna be going into your garden tools and that kind of thing, so, just kind of trying to get in front of the curve on that one.
And if you leave your car unlocked and you got your garage door opener in the car,
Yeah.
that's one of the things they're gonna grab.
Our budget, we continue to stay within our expectations. We're entering the actual last quarter of this fiscal year, and we're confident that we're going to stay on budget. We do have some training expenses that'll be upcoming in May and June. I'll hit on a couple of those later. So you might see an uptick in the overtime expense in the next couple of months, but we'll still be okay. As far as our budget request for the next fiscal year, I haven't heard anything official. Pretty much only what I've read in the paper, the Record Journal in particular, and at this point, it looks like our vehicle request was cut from 4 to 2, and I'm not sure if there were any other capital cuts, but we'll find out soon. I believe April 3rd might be the town meeting. And,
Did you hear anything on the dog warden's vehicle?
No,
You didn't hear on that at all?
no, not as of yet.
Okay.
I have for support services and traffic. I had something just for consideration. We don't need to act on it tonight, but this was an email that came in, which someone was commenting on Poole and Blakesley and the request of some type of request for an increase in
Thanks.
either signage, or they mentioned some signalization, lighting of some sort. at that corner because of a crash. We looked at the last 3 years, and we noted that there were 20 car accidents. 13 of them were related to stop sign violations. We already do have oversized signs there, stop signs. We have signage posted that indicate that there's a stop ahead. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a traffic light there. I think if you were to have any type of signalization there, you're going to cause some type of an unnecessary
Backup.
waiting queue, and you're going to have a backup there. I don't think it would be fair to the people that were living there to have any type of flashing lights in front of their homes. If you were to consider anything, maybe some added striping in the roadway, similar to what we've done in the past on Homewood when you approach Hartford Turnpike, where you say, it's painted in the roadway, stop ahead. That might be something that you might want to consider or look at. Again, that might be something that we can table until you can look at the intersection for next month.
I remember about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, we did put in a request for the state to take a look at it to see if it would be, when Chief DiCarlo was there, we had the same request from someone in that area about putting a traffic signal up there. And the state said it did, at that time, the state said it did not meet the criteria for a traffic light. Well, when we started talking about it, I can remember that the residents of the area didn't like the idea of having this flashing light there, whatever it be there. So, and then the cost is really, when it comes to safety and stuff, I'm not a person that cost, I don't care about the cost, but the cost to put up a traffic light today is about $125,000, Mac, $150,000.
I wouldn't know necessarily the cost of it, but I know it's
Yeah.
going to involve engineering and
Sure.
everything
Yeah.
else. So, I mean, it will be expensive.
Well, make some recommendations for striping or some,
Yeah, I think
talk to the traffic
at this
guys or-
point, I think you got to remember too, it's what we might, or what I might define as a collector roadway. It's not a main artery per se. It's not like a Ridge Road, Hartford Turnpike,
Yeah.
It's well-traveled, though.
But you have,
Yeah.
basically, you almost have two collector roadways meeting. A lot of people use Pool Road as a,
It's a cut-through road.
To get into Wallingford, they use
Yeah,
it.
it gets to Wallingford.
same thing with Blakesley. So,
Yep, exactly.
when you look at all the traffic that goes through there, 20 accidents isn't a whole lot for 3 years.
Well, I gotta say this, though, since we put up, especially on Pool Road, the through truck, that's worked very well. The people are getting up, the trucks are not on Pool Road anymore. There's only been a couple, and they're down on Washington Avenue, and Bassett Road is completely, I haven't seen no trucks on Bassett Road at all. We did some enforcement up there, and that was real good. So they're off of.
But it might be a good
that.
time to consider it if you want to do that, because we're going to be going into our road maintenance,
Yeah,
similar to the other one I had emailed everyone about Middletown Avenue. This might be a good time to look at those things in the early spring, late winter, early spring,
Yeah.
because you want to get on that maintenance.
let me ask you something, as long as we're talking about the road. Do they, I'm talking about the town, I don't know, the town engineer or whoever, when it's time to pave roads, do they come to you people and ask for your opinions on roads that need to be paved?
No.
Because I've seen the list already that's
they-
been put out there.
I think
For the
they've actually.
early, for the spring paving, and I tell you, there's some roads that I consider
I
that
think they
should
have
be
an
paved.
they may have outsourced some of that too. I'm not quite sure, and I don't want to
Okay.
misspeak, but I think they may have outsourced that, and they may have gotten a third party to come in and value the roads as far as which ones. They
Yeah.
give them a rating based on which ones need it most, so that somebody doesn't say, "Whoa, geez, you just paved the chairman's street." Oh, now you just did the commissioner's street. Now you did the superintendent of roadways, streets. So this is where it's not only fair, but it's based on true need.
But the thing is, they should be coming, I would think, they're coming to our traffic people here. Since we put up those radar signs that blink and say how much traffic, because it does give us a lot more information. The traffic flow on the street, tells how many cars have been going through there, you know, and a lot of other information. So, I mean, I know some, it's like I seen the paving there. There's two lists. There's one for the spring and there's one for the fall, from what I understand. And I've seen the spring list, and I'm telling you, there's a couple of roads in town that I consider them the Burma Road. I'm telling you, they're brutal, and they're not on that list. I mean, they're nothing but pothole streets, you know? But
A
anyway,
quick question on this intersection here. The 20 accidents, are they more in the evening, or, I'm just curious?
That I don't have, I mean, I have it. We can look through and find out when they are.
Okay. I'm just curious if it's a nighttime that's caused, well, whatever, but.
Yeah, I would venture to say that there's not many that are happening after 8 o'clock at night. The majority of them are probably between 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the evening.
that's because you got the Quinnipiac traffic, the Quinnipiac University traffic, the car traffic, you know what I'm saying? Because they travel Bassett Road and Pool Road, coming and going. And that's happening all day, like the chief said, between 6 and whatever the classes may be. you know.
So what's the consensus? We're just gonna table this until the next?
I'd like to go look at it. I
would-
mean, I know where it is. I ride my bike through there, but I'd like to take a look at it,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
with a fresh set of
Yeah,
eyes.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
so would I, so
Yeah.
we'll do that, and we'll talk about it next meeting then, right?
Yeah, sure, that's
All right,
fine.
And the
good.
20 accidents, that's over a 3-year period, you
That's
said?
over a 3-year period, and like I said, 13 of them appear to have been failure to stop. There's a couple others where somebody didn't grant the right of way. You know, I got there first, and then you got there second, and then, you know.
It's like State and Broadway.
Yeah, well, that one, believe it or not, is pretty safe. All the traffic that goes through State and Broadway, I'm certain, there are many near misses over there.
I saw one tonight.
But for the most part, we have, like, knock on wood, very, very few accidents there. And considering all the traffic that goes through, that's amazing. Yeah. I remember as a kid, they used to have the lollipops, you know, go right, stay right, signs there, you know, but that was a long time ago, right, John? The second traffic issue is one I emailed you last week about Route 17, and that was something that had come to my attention towards the end of last fall, and then someone else reminded me of it. There's a section there of Route 17 between North Hill Road and Livingston Drive going southbound, which allows, I think it's southbound, it allows for the,
It is southbound.
for passing.
Yeah.
And at first, it was more of someone, you know, making a complaint about vehicles accelerating. And then when I actually look at it, and I said, geez, you know, it's kind of close to the intersection. And in particular, when you come out of the church, I think you tend to, if you're gonna go northbound, coming out of the church parking lot, you're gonna be looking towards the south to see if there's anything coming in that direction. And if you start to go, you're not gonna be necessarily paying attention to anybody that's passing there. So I did reach out to the state, and they said that even though it's their roadway and it's a passing, they would consider it, but it would have to go before the local traffic authority, which is our police commission.
So who-
There's also a rise, where you say when you're
There
coming
is.
out of the church, when you're looking north.
Right.
There's a rise, which I think,
Right.
you know, further complicates the situation out there. It's kind of crazy that it's passing zone.
Yeah, so.
Who does it have to go in front of?
No, the state DOT will will look at it. But they will only do that if the recommendation comes from the local traffic authority, which is our police
Which we
commission.
gave you the authority to do.
Well, no, but I'm just really the representative, representative of you.
Yeah.
Through correspondence and those
Right.
kinds of things, but I can't really make that recommendation. That should come
I
from,
thought we did that at the last meeting. We made the recommendation for you to contact them.
no.
Not on this issue. This came
Not on-
up
not
in
on
between the
this issue.
meetings.
No, that was on another issue. That
Oh,
was
the
on,
Route
that-
17 thing.
no, that was on, you wanted to remove that no turn on red.
I know that, yeah. I remember that, but I thought we did, I thought,
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, can I have a motion that we make the chief, go ahead and make that, request from the State Traffic Authority?
I'll make that motion.
To eliminate the
passing
passing
zone,
zone,
right.
yeah.
Eliminate that
I'll
passing
second that.
zone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Okay, as far as uniform services, our patrol and our ISU, our detectives, the robberies and burglaries are actually, they're down, with the exception of the unlocked vehicles, in this month in particular. The submitted patrol and ISU reports are fairly detailed. You'll note that in the Captain Glenn's report, they closed a larceny complaint from the senior center, which had been with us since last summer. It was something that came to a close this past weekend. They also developed a lead on a robbery that occurred in a parking lot, a restaurant parking lot, back in December. This was the DNA that we actually were able to get off the victim's vehicle. It was determined to be a 15-year-old suspect. And this is an individual that had a gun and stuck it in some of our high school students, into their side, into their ribs.
This didn't happen in the school.
No, this happened at a restaurant
restaurant,
in
yeah.
December. So, these kids that are running around the state of Connecticut, it's, I don't know, it's getting really crazy. We just have to remind our people that reside in town, you don't know who you're dealing with, so, call us. Don't try to sometimes handle, we got a couple people that want to handle things themselves, and we got to caution these folks that they really need to call us. We also had closed an arrest of an individual that was charged with sale of narcotics, and that was to a woman who had passed in town. This is the mother of four who overdosed and died. Our detectives were able to make an arrest on that case. 2 more overdoses this past month, and one that we deployed Narcan. So that's becoming a regular as well.
Mac, let me ask you something, as long as we're talking about this. And I'm not positive of this year, but did we have in some of our cars defibrillators for people having a heart
Yes.
attack, the portable ones?
Yeah, the
Are they in
AEDs.
every car or
No.
just a
Well, we
couple?
have, I think we have.
We have
there's
two.
There's two.
Okay, someone asked me and I wasn't sure, and
We have two.
I knew that we had them, but I wasn't positive that we had them. I shouldn't say that, yeah.
Records, professional standards training, Officer Flanagan's in week 13 already, so we should expect to see him sometime in probably May, the end of May, I believe.
Okay.
And we also had some department-wide blood-borne pathogens and CPR training. That was the past 2 weeks. And within the next couple months, we're gonna, like I mentioned earlier, we got some firearms training that's gonna be needed to be done. And we're gonna try to do some of it in May and June out of this fiscal year, and then possibly put some of it into July or August, and kind of share the expense between both budgets. I have one request for a scholarship consideration for 3 completed classes of Sergeant Cliff Hill. He is working on a master's program, and I have his request and paperwork right here.
Is that for the Bernary?
Yes, that would be for the Chief Walter T. Benary Scholarship Fund.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Our radio building project, as you mentioned earlier, we did have our groundbreaking ceremony yesterday. I'll get a couple of photos out to you via email. Where are we as far as the building itself? The demolition is continuing. You may have noticed that the antenna is down. They're boring for the new monopole. And again, the monopole is going to be basically, it's not going to look like your old antenna. This is going to be, I always describe it as a baseball bat. That's about the best way to, it's going to be big.
Everything is okay? No surprises?
Not yet.
Okay, let me ask you another thing. The only thing. I understand that we're, the generator, where's that going? Why do, and I'm just asking, 'cause this is something I didn't pick up in the planning or anything. Why are we getting a new one? Can't use the old one?
This
It's not
one's-
powerful enough?
This one
or-
here is 30 years old.
Okay,
It's 30 years old, and and actually, it probably would be a little undersized for
for what we need,
for the addition.
yeah. What are they gonna do with it?
I think they were going to, just, at this point, they were just gonna put it to the side. The town owns it.
Yeah,
What they're going to do with it at this point,
somebody
That's-
just asked me, and I don't know, but is it a propane? Was it propane?
it's-
Was it gas, or was it
so
oil?
it's diesel.
Pardon me?
It's diesel,
Diesel?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you have to, apparently you have to have a separate fuel source in order to run it. You know, the cheapest thing to do would probably be to have propane, or not propane.
Hook it up to the natural gas.
Natural gas,
Yeah.
but natural gas is subject to disruption if there's, some type of a earthquake or,
Yeah.
something along that line.
Mhm.
So you have to have a fuel source that is standalone.
Yeah.
So that's
So
why we
following
have
up on
to
that,
do-
is the new one also going to be diesel then?
Yeah,
That's pretty common.
yeah. Yep. And then the excavation, they're gonna start doing some digging on the next week, I believe it is.
For
So,
the footings and stuff for the
Yeah.
addition?
Yep.
Yeah,
so it's gonna start to go fast. And that's a good thing. And the only other thing I have just a few things, personnel matters for executive session.
that's it?
Yep.
John, you got anything? Does anyone have any questions that they would like at this time to ask the chief or the deputy?
I have none.
None here?
I don't have anything else, so with that, can I have a motion that we move into executive session for discuss personnel matters?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. All right, we are back into open session. What's the time, Larry?
Time is 7:56.
At 7:56. Can I have a motion that we adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good night.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.